Leftist liberals hate him, atheists despise him, evolutionists and socialists fear him. Certain other talk show hosts are jealous of him. The White House administration knows who he is, but this is why you listen to Carl. Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups, the Oval Office of Gulf Coast Talk Radio.
Well, folks, we want to welcome you back to another Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups. This is actually your co-host, Brandon Gallups, and we're going to waste no time going right back to Mike Shoesmith. And for those of you who don't know, Mike Shoesmith is actually an Obama operative. He's got an inside link to the Obama campaign.
That's true, he does.
And they have actually allowed him to release some vital information here today on Freedom Friday. So, folks, listen up.
The Barack Obama campaign. I'm actually cleverly disguised as an Obama operative here. I'm actually a double agent here, by the way. So we'll get into that later. But the Democrat Party has announced plans today, on how they're going to deal with all this impeachment talk. Now, I've talked about this in the past. I have nailed this, and I think I've nailed it again here, because they sent out a bulk email, and I'm on it was BarackObama.com when it started, and I signed up for that so that I could have the inside scoop on everything that was going on back in 2011 when they were gearing up for the election in 2012. I signed up for their email list, right? And so then, when Barack Obama was elected in 2012, the website was changed to OFA.org, ObamaForAmerica.org, right? And so then all that email list was routed that way. Well, now the website has changed again to Democrats.org. That's Democrats.org, and the Democrats are coming out in full defense mode here to try and keep their president in office without getting impeached. And so here's the email. It begins with a picture of Paul Ryan. And the caption is, "It's happening again," it says. Representative Paul Ryan is telling reporters that President Obama is, quote, "increasingly lawless."
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
So even the Democrat Party is admitting that that is a tagline attached to their president. Right. He is the lawless one,
yes.
Right? I mean, where have we heard that before?
Yeah, from the Bible, maybe?
Well, you heard we talked about that right here last week, about people calling him the lawless one and dubbing the Obamacare law the abomination.
Right.
And just, I mean, it's a coincidence, I guess.
And I've got to remind you both, Mike and Brandon, that several years ago, Mike, you and I were calling him the lawless one right here on Freedom Friday. And that has taken off all over the nation. Now, I'm not saying they got it from us, although they probably did, but you and I were calling him that, I think, before anybody was, publicly.
Yeah, well, we reported that even his own Secret Service calls him the lawless one.
Yes, we made a video on ppsimmons years ago about this.
Yeah, the renegade, he's lawless one.
Yeah,
and then the Democrats, they go on next to name Paul Brown. Paul Brown, he's running for Senate in Georgia, and they're saying that Paul Brown said there's a good reason, quote unquote, for an impeachment vote. Yeah. So there's Paul Brown coming out calling for impeachment. And now here comes the clincher here. The Democrat Party, in this official email mailed out to millions of people today, they are calling for a supermajority. What a supermajority will be, they will retain power in the Senate, and they will gain power in the House. Because impeachment, folks, begins and ends in the House.
Right. It
has to be certified by the Senate. Bill Clinton was impeached. He was impeached, but it was not confirmed by the Senate. No. So therefore, he was censured, because impeachment makes a president touchable. And presidents are untouchable until they're impeached. And when they're impeached, they become touchable. They can go before courts and judges and so on and so forth. He must be impeached first before any charges can be laid against him. And that's the House's job. The House is controlled now by Boehner, a rhino Republican. But this is what the email is saying here. It says, remember, if we just win 17 more seats, we will take back the House.
That's what it says.
Put an end to this. Listen to this. Put an end to this kind of asinine behavior.
Yeah, that's an official release from the Obama campaign using the word asinine to describe Republicans who think that we need to look at impeachment.
Right, and impeachment is part of the democratic process. So,
right.
I mean,
it's constitutional.
Right. I mean, and I reported. I remember I gave you the movie review of Gravity with Sandra Bullock and how she resembles so much Nancy Pelosi, and I said, if history of Hollywood is any indicator, it looks like Nancy Pelosi will once again be leader of the House, and the demon rats will once again take over the House. And if they keep the Senate and take back the House, they will have a supermajority. Barack Obama will be untouchable at that point. And guess what? His agenda will be unstoppable for the final 2 years of his presidency. Lame duck nothing. He will be the very opposite of a lame duck. He will have all of his agenda pushed through by his cronies in Washington. So we need to really keep an eye on this. We need to get out the vote against the Democrats. In 2014 is a pivotal, important election. It could mean it could decide whether America goes down in flames forever.
Yeah. You know, Mike, it's amazing if you look back at the history. Nixon was impeached for having, I believe, about 100 names on a list in a safe that he was targeting. This president has used the IRS to target, you know, the people that have come out. I mean, multiple people that have come out. And think about the NSA surveillance of millions of everyday Americans walking around the streets.
Yeah.
But yet he's untouchable.
Yeah. And they impeached Nixon.
Nixon had 100 names locked in a safe.
Right. Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Mike, tell people where they can get a hold of you. If you've got 10 seconds.
Yeah, ppsimmons at live.com. You can reach me. We're covering the American Spring on PP Simmons on the blog everywhere there's an internet connection. God bless you guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Okay, thank you so much. Folks, that was Mike Shoesmith, our Canadian correspondent. Well, you're listening to Freedom Friday on this beautiful Friday afternoon along the Gulf Coast. It's paradise down here. I don't know if it is where you are, but it's paradise whenever you're listening to us. You're going to hear things here you will not hear anywhere else, even in other conservative news radio. But Brandon Big B is my co-host this afternoon. And Brandon, well, we got to get out of here. We'll see you in just a few moments.